Okay, now I can go back to the article I almost read, and this is from the Friday, December 24th, Des Moines Register. Lots of renewable green energy, Blue.Green.Fusion type of information in that particular edition of the Des Moines Register. But anyway, this says Branstad Power Fund likely will continue. Energy Independence Office probably won't be so lucky. Alright, it goes on. It says the Power Fund has attracted support in part from businesses in agriculture because of Iowa's position as the nation's leading producer of ethanol and because it has the nation's second largest capacity of wind-generated electricity. And I read several articles and journals and internet websites about the Iowa Power Fund and how it's affected renewable energy policy, how it's created various types of state initiatives, and how we came to be number 2 in the United States, only behind Texas. And so it looks like that there is still an open door policy with the Iowa Power Fund, and the Register covered that, and there's more to share. Let's see. Contacted about Brandstad's comments, the incoming Iowa House Republican leader and the Senate Democratic Majority Leader said they thought their chambers would back continued state financial support to promote development of the renewable energy industry. Brandstad harshly criticized the Power Fund early in the campaign, but he has since softened his position, saying he planned to subject the Power Fund to the same review as all other economic development programs to make sure they are effective and properly managed. Well, I think if they're subjected to the same review as all economic programs, then that's fair. However, hopefully they won't be targeted. They actually will be reviewed and not targeted. I think there is a difference. At a meeting earlier this month, Power Fund Board Chairman Fred Hubble said the Power Fund has been unfairly second-guessed for not creating more jobs. The 2007 statute was passed to keep technology investments in the state, so in the future, jobs in renewable energy would be there, Hubble said, while issuing the Power Fund's annual report. Now people are looking in the rearview mirror and asking to see more jobs. That's not the way to look at it. House Majority Leader-elect Linda Upmeyer agreed that it's likely that renewable energy programs will continue on some level. In general, I don't hear our caucus saying we should turn our back on renewable energy in the state, Upmeyer said. I think to the extent or fashion that is demonstrated is unclear at this point, but I don't think there's a big movement to say we're having no role in supporting renewable energy in the future. And I do agree that it is unclear at this point. It's being studied, it's being considered, it's being reviewed, it's being researched. Hopefully, when the answers come, whatever the new office is called, if it's still called the Power Fund, if it's reorganized, if it's rearranged, if it's streamlined, hopefully we can maintain our number 2 status here in Iowa for wind development. We don't want to move backward. We don't want to lose what progress we've made so far. That's something that we can feel very proud of, the fact that we are number 2 for wind energy. And I hope there is a sense of pride in what we've accomplished at this point. And hopefully we can look forward to more accomplishments in the future. I think we do have the capacity to move that industry forward. I think we can make cooperative steps forward with other states that border Iowa, especially when the issue of job creation is important. Also, localized manufacturing of parts is important. And then also prevention of economic intrusion by foreign multinational companies is important. And then also overcoming resistance from the East Coast in terms of moving our transmission from the Midwest to the eastern states. All very important, not to be overlooked, not to be neglected. As I titled my previous episode, no decision is a decision. There's also another article that I wanted to read, and this is from the Friday, December 28th. Des Moines Register, dealing with public transportation. We talked to Gunnar Olson in the public transportation episode, and he let us know about the transportation hub that's going to be relocated from Walnut Street downtown to Des Moines to a couple of blocks south. And there's an article in today's paper that discusses that. The new transit hub will replace the aging Wall Street Transit Mall, which is in disrepair and lacks such basic amenities as public restrooms or a place to buy bus passes. And I agree. That transit mall has been in its current state for a couple of decades, and it's kind of inadequate in terms of public service. There's actually no one to talk to for information unless you catch them walking up and down the street wearing a DART uniform. There's no place to buy bus passes. There's no place to come in out of the cold. There's a few businesses, but they consider you a loiterer unless you're actually purchasing from that business. But there's no place enclosed to come in out of the rain. Well, there is to come in out of the rain, but if it's crowded, good luck getting in there. It would just be great to have a place for elderly, to people with, children or infants, to people carrying large bags, people who need a restroom to come in and find some shelter till their bus gets there. I think it would be treating bus riders like human beings. I do. The city of Des Moines is in the midst of developing a plan for the street's revitalization. That's Walnut. The transit hub will be built about 2 blocks south of the existing transit mall on a triangle of land south of Cherry Street, between 6th Avenue and 7th Street. The land is now used for county offices and parking lots. The new transit hub will include public restrooms and a customer service desk where patrons can buy passes or ask questions of DART staff. The building will also offer a climate-controlled waiting area, a retail location for a cafe or coffee shop, plus a bicycle storage area. And I think that's terrific because currently bus riders are treated as a public nuisance, as intruders, as loiterers, as people who need to be gotten out of the way. And I think that's holding back bus passenger ridership in Des Moines. And then also it's holding back sustainable transportation in Des Moines too. The hub features 15 bus bays with covered walkways. Signs will show real-time arrival and departure information for buses thanks to GPS technology. The hub will also serve as a symbol of environmental stewardship. It will be powered by approximately 70 geothermal wells, as well solar panels built into the roof. Rain will be retained in cisterns on site, and the water used to flush toilets and wash bus lanes. I think that's excellent. I think that's excellent idea, and I think it's very forward-thinking, and I think it's something that will move Des Moines forward to first city status instead of a city very reluctant to adapt to what other cities are doing. I think it's very important to examine what's out there and then take the very best for Des Moines and then move us forward. So good on you, DART. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Okay. So the topic of the show is When We Were Green. When we were green, and I'm feeling sentimental. It's the end of the year. It's holidays. It's gatherings of family and friends. It's endings and beginnings, and just people coming together. And I have talked to my family members in previous times about the past, and I recommend that everyone do that. It's very important that you don't lose that knowledge. But I want to just remind the viewers that the green economy involves energy, environment, food, water, and waste. And so those are the elements that are pretty much covered here, although we have not, again, gotten to waste and wastewater. Hopefully we'll soon. We have talked about stormwater and other forms of water removal, but wastewater is soon to come, and hopefully we'll really get to the bottom of that too.